Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to check out some tools sent by beautbike, a Wera Allen tray, Park Tool flush cutters, Park Tool cable end crimp with some cable ends, Park Tool crank wrench, Motorex copper paste, and the Equipt Sardine tool. Alright, first up we've got this Wera tool holder, Allen key tool holder, pretty sick, all 3D printed, but what it allows you to do is put it in your, if you have a little tool trolley or tool shelf, you can put it in and then put all your Allen keys in here, and makes it easier to pull out. So what I'm going to do is load it up and put it in. Alright, this is the state of my toolbox at the moment. You can see I kind of just have those lined up, and I have these as well, kind of just loose. So I'm actually going to try to put those two in, and then hopefully I can clean it up a bit. Alright, here's the tools. Got both sets here. I'm going to try to put this one in set because it's loose, but you realize there is a Torx one here, a couple of Torx ones, so we'll see how it fits. This kit is actually a mixed kit, kind of like a grab and go kit, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have a feeling some of these are the same diameters, so they might not all fit in here, but yeah. Alright, so I was so close, I was just kind of one off. Obviously this is a Torx, so I think I'm going to just keep the Torx out for now for this one and keep it like that. I think I will run this one probably because I just have it loose in my container, but what I'm going to do is fit these ones, and then these ones should all fit. Alright, it's actually quite funny. These ones don't fit, so I think these are actually slightly longer. They look almost the same size, but yeah, you can see here, just slightly longer, which is pretty interesting. So these don't fit, and then these definitely don't fit. But yeah, it seems like this only works with the colored set, so good little piece of information there. So yeah, either way, I was going to run these anyway, so these are a good fit for me. Put the Torx in there. This is a Torx as well. I might take this one out, put it there. I think this is how it's meant to run. Could fit the giant one in there if I need to. But yeah, I think I'll keep this set together. Alright, this is kind of the setup I have. I end up putting Torx in there. Looks pretty neat though. I end up having this little kind of like a socket tool with different ends, and then I just put the extra ends here, which is kind of cool because I just had them floating around. Got the Wera tool. Still got to clean up this side though. But yeah, I've actually been using these a little bit more just for smaller jobs, just because how they feel. They're a little tapered on the sides, and it makes it a little bit easier to screw in. These I just use with bigger jobs. They do have this little ball bearing, which is quite cool. But yeah, just a little usage update there. And then to get them out, they got this little gap here, so you can just kind of pick it up. Makes it quite easy. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty neat, and a good thing about it is you can kind of like lift it up and put it near your bike or whatever, do some work. You don't have to be picking out singles, and then just kind of drop it in when you're done. So yeah, pretty cool. Alright, next up is these flush cut pliers, Park Tool. They're for cutting zip ties kind of close to the edge or any of the materials in tight spaces. Forged and machined. So let's take a look. Not really too much to say about these. You can see Park Tool are pretty much known for their good quality, so I expect these to be pretty good as well. Springs back pretty nice, and you can see it has a flat edge here on this side, so you can go right up to whatever you're cutting. I've got to switch out the rotation of my crate, my monopole bike, so this will be a good way to test them out. Alright, so here it is. So basically just going to rotate it 90. And this is kind of how I just got it attached at the moment, just zip ties. I figure if I just cut it right here, I'd be able to reuse the zip ties. So yeah, once you cut it, all you have to do is just push that little end out, just like this. And then you can reuse it. Alright, so just rotated it around, and I don't know if I'm that into it, just because it makes the bike quite long, I think, and also it's sitting right on the edge here. You can see on the edge on both sides. So yeah, it's one of those things, kind of funny. You try it out, but end up switching back. I think ideally you get a crate about this width, but then it just goes out a little bit longer to get a little bit more room. But yeah, one thing that will help it is originally I had it about this close to the end. I'm gonna move it all the way up to the front, so the front is kind of flush like that, and then at least that will give me some more room for the bars to turn. I end up reusing the 4 zip ties on the front, but for the back ones I need new ones. Alright, the pliers cut pretty sweet. You can see it's super flush there. Goes right up to the end. No complaints. They're pretty sharp as well. And here's what the basket looks like. Here's the blades after it's been cut. I don't think they're dull at all. But yeah, they work as intended. No issues. I think if one thing they could add would be a little latch to keep it closed, because you don't want this around your toolbox or anything and the blades getting nicked up. But yeah, overall pretty good. Alright, next up is the Park Tool end cap crimping pliers. Basically crimping end caps, good for tight spaces, they said again. So yeah, let's take it out, take a look. Alright, here they are. Looks like they got 2 positions here. Position on the top end with a little crimp right there. And then also a little side crimp. We just go in just like this and then crimps down. And then same with these ones. Just like that. I think this is the third option maybe. You can crimp it sideways like this. I also have these larger, these are meant to be for brake cables and these are meant to be for gear cables, but I actually stopped using these because these fit on brake cables as well, just. So I kind of stopped using the bigger ones. I think the smaller ones look a bit better, but yeah, we can test the size of this bigger one. So yeah, still fits in the groove pretty well. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter which size you use. So yeah, those are those. We'll test these out. You can see this little semicircle thing is only on one half of the tool. I just didn't see that the first time around. So you just got to remember where to position it. I just position it closer to this whole end. And then yeah, just put this through, give it a squeeze, and works pretty well. Looks pretty cool too, I think. And then to get it off, I realized you can use this area to kind of just crimp it down and pull on it. It puts a little bit of pressure on the sides. And then here's the top end. The top end, I gotta say, it's a little bit harder to press down. But yeah, eventually it works. I had to do it 2 times just to get a tight grip on it. But yeah, you can see how the cap ends leaves a little gap in there. And then here's the bigger cable end. If you use the clamp on the big one, it doesn't do anything. So I think that's just for removal. And then here, the side one. I think this side one definitely works the best. You just press it 1 time and pop it off. And that's what it looks like. Pretty neat, I think, and it, yeah, hangs on pretty sturdy. And then yeah, you can use the side. You just go 90 degrees to where you pressed it in. I don't know if it's made for this, but that's what I use it for. And then here, this is just the final setup. Pretty clean. All right, next up is the crank wrench. Pop it out. Before I pop it out, just look on the back. You can see it can be used both ways here. Again, it's heat treated, nickel plated, vinyl wrap. All right, here we go. Pretty nice end, just a socket on the end. Seems pretty sturdy. Just a vinyl grip. So yeah, that's that one. Just want to try it too. All right, just trying the Allen side first. And yeah, I realized I could take off pedals as well. So I just took off these pedals. Feels pretty good, and compared to an Allen key, it feels probably slightly more secure for some reason. Feels a little bit more flat against the bolt, and you can just use one hand as well. So yeah, pretty good on the Allen side. And then here I just want to try socket side, so I'm just taking it off. I think the wrench is good for initial like hard loosening of bolts, but once it kind of gets to taking it off the rest of the way, it is a little bit longer, so it's not going to clear your pedal. But yeah, you probably take your pedals off before you take your cranks off. And then here, just with the socket side, it feels really solid. You can actually put your thumb on that round bit, and that really helps lock it in. And yeah, it feels super solid. Here, I'm just taking it off again. Good for that initial pull off. And then yeah, if you just use it to take it off the rest of the way, it can get a little bit fussy, but yeah, still works. Overall, pretty good. Can't wait to use this more. Alright, next up is this copper paste. I've never used this before, but basically what it's used for is used for high temperatures, and it creates a barrier to stop rusting and stuff like that. You can use it for screws or anywhere where you're putting a joint, like a press fit, anything press fit, protects against corrosion and stops anything from freezing up. So any high temperature stuff, it will stop. It says prevents disc brake squealing. This really only applies to cars and motorbikes. They put it on the back of the brake pads to stop it rubbing on the caliper. Definitely don't put on your rotors because it'll screw up your rotors. Let's take a look inside. Alright, that's what it looks like. And I'll just do the smell test. The smell isn't that strong. It smells like a little bit like paint or lacquer. But yeah, the smell is not strong at all. Unless I had to put it all the way up my nose, close to my nose. But yeah, keen to give this one a try. Also, the copper in the paste in this grease stops steel and aluminum from welding together, so probably good for seat posts, stuff like that, or anything or anywhere that's going to kind of get wet. Here I just decided to put it on some of my pedal threads just because they'll be closer to water, closer to the bottom. But yeah, just using the little brush. The brush is pretty stiff, to be honest. And then yeah, being copper, I thought you might feel some of the grittiness of the paste itself, but yeah, it feels super smooth and goes on pretty easy. Not too much to it. I don't think I can really give a long-term review till I use it for a bit and see how it reacts. But yeah, so far so good. And then here we got this Equipt multi-tool. I've actually seen this brand online before and I thought it was pretty sick, nice and small. Most multi-tools that you get are a little bit more bulky. I do like this kind of streamlined design. It says do not store in the pocket because it causes injury while riding. Not recommended for removing a pedal because I think it's a little bit small. There's a 3, 4, 5, 6 box 25 on there. So yeah, probably good for stems, everything except your pedal. The T25 probably good for your rotors, rotor bolts. So yeah, here it is. Pretty good, it's pretty light. So yeah, 39 grams, super light. But yeah, nice finish on it. Looks like you can tighten these up with a little Allen key if you need to. Here's the biggest socket in here. Okay, this is actually pretty tight. All right, so this is actually too tight for me to get out. So I think what I need to do is I need to loosen these up. But yeah, these other ones, you can see go side to side. You can either use it as like a wrench this way or do it this way, depending on how much torque you need. But yeah, these pivot around. I think these are just kind of like loose. I don't really see it snapping in at all. So yeah, these are pretty loose around. I don't see, it does look like it stops at a certain point, but not really, I don't think. You can't really feel it that much. I don't know if that's a natural stop or not. And then same with this one, it just goes round. It would be cool if they made it so it kind of like clicked in to the end or clicked into an end, but I'm sure you might want to use it at different angles as well. So that's probably why they made it like that. But yeah, I'm surprised this one is so tight from the factory. So I'll get an Allen key, loosen this out, and then let's see how we go to that one. All right, this is a 1.5. So yeah, you can see I took the screw out and I think they put some type of paste on here. Not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's Loctite or some type of thing. But what I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of oil in here, and then hopefully that makes it run a little bit better. This is just like mechanical oil. All right, that's it. You really don't need that much. And then just make sure I'm putting it in the right way. All right, here it is. A bit easier to take out. It's still quite, can be quite stiff as well. But yeah, you kind of got to pull on it a little bit harder. But yeah, I think putting a little bit of oil really did help. You can see it's quite stiff still. You can see it just fits in this little groove right there. Stops it from going anywhere. But yeah, here's your bigger Allen key. And then these are pretty tight on the ends, but I'll keep it like that. And then here is the little clip. Just clips on like that, I bet. These little grooves go in the hole. I think you can probably put it logo side down or logo side up. Yeah, just like that. I don't know how much I'm going to actually use this. If I had a tool like this, if I had pockets or a small bag or whatever, I'd probably just run it in a small bag. I know they say don't put it in your pocket, but it might be easier to put in your pocket. All right, let's give this one a try. Here's the length for anyone wondering, probably 117, 15 wide. Another thing I noticed from the factory is, see how this washes out? So I'm gonna put that washer back in. All the other ones are fine, I think. All right, there we go. Took a little bit, but it worked. Yeah, just the little things, right? There we go. All right. Little setup for this tool needed, I guess. All right, here it is, just me trying out. It's, yeah, it works pretty well actually. I like the leverage you can get, and also you can put it on an angle to kind of tighten these bolts. It felt like pretty good leverage from what I can gauge with my hand. So yeah, chainring bolts, no issues. They might loosen up on a ride. And then here, just installing the bottle mount, just because it's probably one of the more awkward things to install. But yeah, again, no issues. I actually quite like it how you can use multiple angles for this. I think this is kind of one of the things that makes this tool pretty special. It also feels really good in the hand. I think the way that you transfer the tension is also pretty intuitive from when you use Allen keys. Just by either you choke it or you use the end of the tool will give you different pressures. You can see here that I've angled it to rotate it, but because it only comes out 90 degrees, it does hit the green up the top right there. In my opinion, it'd be cool if they made it so it rotated more than 90 degrees. So you can keep the same angle if you're rotating the tool more than 180 degrees. Either way, the tool still works, you just have to lift it up and then reposition it. If I really wanted to make it go more than 9 degrees, I could actually mod it. I just drill here, right in this piece here. So when this piece goes down, it doesn't stop it. But yeah, pretty sick. And then here you can see the tool fits quite well for areas which is high, kind of like under this crossbar. The tool's quite shallow for both ends, so you can get in those hard to reach areas as well, which is cool. Overall, I think this tool's super sick. I usually carry around Allen keys just in case something happens, but having a little tool with everything kind of just streamlined, just what you need. It's a perfect little tool just to kind of check bolts and stuff. And yeah, it's light, it's fun to use, and feels good. Alright, that's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know in comments. Big shout out to beautbike for sending these. If you're looking for some of these tools, other tools, check out beautbike.com.au. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one. Peace.